Hi, I'm Steve from rcdads. Why do I have so many propellers? Well, guess what? You're going to need them because you're going to crash your planes. And you're not really crash. You might not kill them, but the blades go so fast. So it's really important to go and buy yourself a bunch of cheap blades. I think I buy these on eBay and they cost me maybe for 10, I buy them for $6. When you're doing like the planes behind me, anything medium size within like a 36-inch wingspan, these are perfect for what you'll be doing. I'm not here to talk about blades as much as I am to talk about motors. Now, here's where I have a problem with the motors. I've done a lot of researching on the internet, and I found out most of the websites and everything, they talk about KV, and KV is very important when it comes down to what size battery you're going to use versus what size props you're going to use. It's the speed of the motor. Okay, so the lower the KV, the lower the speed of the motor. The faster, the higher RPMs, the faster it goes. The higher, so that part makes sense to me. But one thing they don't really explain is, I've got these planes behind me, and what size motor? Because KV, sure, that's great that I want a motor that pulls the plane fast, but I want something with power. And a lot of these sites don't explain that to you. Well, I've gone through and I've got a list of all the different sizes of actual motor sizes, because it does matter, because I have put some of these motors that say, 1600 kV into a plane, but it doesn't have the block size, the power that it needs to get that plane going. So what it ends up doing is heating up the motor, it heats up the battery, you're gonna have problems. So what I want to show you in front of me is I have 3 different sized motors. One is a 2208, one is a 2212, and one is a 2208. This is 2212. You're going up in size, a little bit bigger, and then you've got a 2826. Now, I'm going to say, in all the planes that I've got, the motor that works the best on all this right now is my 2826. And the reason I say that is because it's, as you can see, a bigger block. It's got the power to push. So, this is pretty well how I feel. Also, you've got to start thinking, when you're getting into these motors, different sizes, is the battery size. Okay, I have the batteries over here that are 2 different batteries from 2 different companies. One is from a hobby store, one is from the internet. Okay, they're both 1350, I believe. This might be just 1300, but the 1350 I bought at a hobby store, that cost $30. The one I got on the internet only cost me $8 or $9. So it's very important to buy these on the internet. You don't want to, you're not in that big of a rush to spend that kind of money on a battery. One more thing I want to talk about is ESCs. These are the controllers for the speed. These little guys right here are what controls this motor to spin. Okay, there are different sized ESCs, and the one that I'm most comfortable with, I'm going to say between a 20 amp and a 30 amp, because the 20 amp for a lot of these motors, when you're getting into 1000 kVs or when you're getting into a bigger motor, a 20 amp will burn out. It really puts a lot of strain on the motor and the ESC. So I like to go with a 30 amp. 30 amp is comfortable for the 36-inch wingspan on a plane. So as far as the electronics in the that you're going to be dealing with, this is what you're dealing with for right now. So thanks for watching RC Dads. On our next video, we're going to explain a little bit how to make the pods, how we're going to get into cutting out the layouts, some of the soldering that you'll have to do within the batteries, because you see these all have this kind of end. So I've gotten all the connectors for these. They all have to be soldered. We'll get into that on our next episode. All right, thanks a lot for watching.